Hi, fellow traders. Well, we are trying to finish up this month, this quarter, get this week started out right, all of these things, and I just wasn't ready. So it made me think about this question. Are you ready? Are you ready? Some of you are saying, "Hell yeah, I'm ready," and some of you are like, "Well, ready for what? What are you talking about?" It's are you ready for your trading success? Most of you aren't, believe it or not. Most of you aren't ready for your trading success, which is why it has eluded you. You have to be ready. And I'm not just talking about, um, learning how to trade and having a trading account and having your strategy and all that. I'm talking about, are you ready to deal with success when it comes? When you hit that good trade, are you ready for it? Can you handle it? Or are you going to let that one trade take you completely out of your game and cause you to just fall apart? And that happens a lot where traders work so hard. They have this one big day, and after that, the wheels come off. They weren't ready. Or you have 2 or 3 green days in a row and you think you know everything, and you never get back to that. You weren't ready for it yet. I know. I've been there, done that. Everything that I talked to you about, that I share with you, I've been there. Not so long ago. It hasn't been that long ago that I forgot, and that I don't still feel those feelings I had back then. Take for instance, you guys in the community, I traded BA last week. We had that monster trade on it. But before I even got into it, and I'm thinking of the potential profit, I already knew what I was going to do with it. I already had a plan. So I was ready for success. I wasn't going to let a trade like that take me out of my game. Okay, we booked over 16 grand already. Still got another piece on. I'm waiting for it to come back. Maybe I should have taken it all off and, locked in, I think, was it 26, 27 grand? I could have done that. But I was ready to take it to the next level. But I had a plan. I was ready for it. And so I'm not going out every other day looking for that type of trade again. I know as I stay in the market and I be consistent, it's going to come around. And I'll be ready for it when it comes around. Hopefully. Today, as you'll see, I wasn't ready. But there are going to be days when we're not ready. But overall, in our mind, we have to be ready to take advantage of these days. Just like last week, I had a bad Monday last week as well. Had a bad Tuesday. But I stayed consistent. Friday came around, I was ready for that monster day. I was ready. And we're going to have to do that. In our trading, we're going to have to do that. So how are you going to be ready? I've given you a roadmap. The Roadmap to Success series, you guys get it for free. And maybe it's my fault for giving it to you for free, because I know better than anybody else that when you get stuff for free, you typically don't respect it. You don't give it its due. You take it or leave it, and it's a waste. And that is hours of my blood, sweat, and tears that I put together of my journey, of what I know works and what I know can get you to where I am right now. But again, I know how free is. And it's a cost of being free. When I was teaching, I would go to these professional development classes because I needed the hours for my certificate. I could go for free, or I could pay and get grad credit. So when I was going for free, I could care less. I could fall asleep in the class. I could do whatever. It didn't really matter to me whether I got everything out of it or not. I was just sitting there. But when I paid my money, when my money was on the line and I was paying for the credit, I made damn sure I got everything out of it. I got my money's worth. So it's a different mindset from free. So maybe it's on me, and maybe it's me being a bad teacher, giving away all this stuff for free. Because it's hard for you to appreciate it. But I'm telling you, on the other end of this, you can invest 6 months of your life and immerse yourself, trust the process. When you come out on the other side, you're going to be surprised at the person you see. But you got to be ready for it. You got to be ready to take that challenge. You got to be ready to go in, 100%. Even though this class is free, you can't look at it as that. You're paying the price of your time to go through it, and it's going to pay dividends on the other end. So, don't just be a consumer. I'm going to steal this from E.T. Don't just be a consumer, be a producer. Don't just consume everything I'm giving you. You want to be a producer. You want to take what you're getting and produce a product, produce money. And that's what this is all about. So just make sure you ask yourself, are you ready? And give yourself that 100% answer. Are you ready to commit 100% to this? Are you ready to give it everything you have in order to do the things you need to do to be successful? All right, so let's see how unready I was today. I missed the opening trade on a couple. I'm looking at another stock that didn't set up. It happens sometimes. This is just the way it goes. Unfortunately, this one, a lot of times I can catch the other stocks that I may not be watching. I can flip over and jump on it. This stock was on short sale restriction, and it was rocketing down. So there's no way I could catch this. Trying to catch a falling knife, but it's even worse than that because it's short sale restrictions, so I'd have to catch an uptick. And I wasn't chasing this down. So I waited, put in a lower day, and here we put in a higher low bounce, but there's no way I'm going to buy it into all of this. Now, I joked about saying I ought to buy it into this, but I wasn't going to do it. Here we put in a nice flag here, and I could have bought it over the 50. And I was thinking about it, but I was trying to get ready for my mentor session at lunch, and I was like, this can work. But it made this huge move up, right up to the 5-minute opening range low. And I was like, okay, this was a strong candle. So if we get this candle open and it starts to turn green and we get over this, I want to get in. And that's what I did. Now, somebody in chat asked me, why didn't I wait for the pullback? And if you think about it, it probably would have been the smartest thing to do. But this was a nice flag break, a strong break. This isn't one of these weak things that we see. This was very strong. But it pulled back, and I had to stop out here because I got greedy. And instead of going in 200 shares like I was supposed to, I went in 300 shares, and it was too heavy, and I could not risk letting it go past my stop. So the only good thing I did in this is that I stuck to my stop, and I'm proud of that. I would do it again tomorrow. I will not hold and hope that this bounced. I would not do it. So I had to take the loss here. It did bounce, ended up catching it right where I wanted to, made the move up, but second mistake I made, I'm in the middle of a mentor session. I should not be trading unless I'm trading with the person I'm mentoring and we're watching my trade. I should not be doing it. Okay, I think I'm Superman and I could pay attention to two things at one time, but you cannot disrespect the market that way because it will burn you, and it burned me. I messed around, and instead of selling up here, I missed it because I was talking and going over something, and when I glanced back, we were coming down. I wanted to take it off, and I accidentally bought 200 shares. I was wanting to take 200 off up here, and then I had to go ahead and flip it back out. And then it messed up my average, so I ended up getting some slippage on this trying to get out because I had my old average from when I got in down here, and when I bought up here it screwed it up, and so it just really messed up this trade. And this all happened because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. You know, I'm thinking that I'm Superman and I could do all of this and I could go in and out, and it just didn't work. So I paid the price. All right, so we waited and waited and waited, and it was breaking down, and I'm thinking, you know, this is probably going to sell off into the close. A nice breakdown here. So this candle closed below VWAP. I get in, and it tries to work, but nobody is offering this under 145, period. And then it turns around and bounces, stops me out, and you can see what happened next. I'm not upset about this trade. This was as good a trade as I could get. This was the best look. It had the best potential move. It would have eaten up all of this garbage I did in here, but it didn't, and it didn't work. So it's just one of these trades that it sets up and it doesn't work. But the market bounced right there too. So that could be why it wasn't offered lower. This is right when the market started to bounce, and everything and its mama was going up. So starting the week off just like I did last week, down. Last week I started down 1,300. This week I'm starting down 1,000. But you stay consistent. Just like you saw last week, I stayed consistent. Tuesday I think was a red day, but Wednesday was green, Thursday was green, and I was there Friday for when that big trade hit. All right, I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't trying to force it. It came in the context of what I do every day. And that can happen to you guys if you do the same thing every day. If you come in and you trade the same strategy every day, come in with the same focus, the same mindset. Look in the mirror every morning and say, are you ready? Are you ready to do what it takes to make it happen? And you're going to be surprised at how well your trading turns around. So like I said, go through that roadmap to success. It's free, but don't treat it like it's free. It's worth, to me, it's worth $1 million because that's what it's paid me. So you got to look at it as it being worth that. All right, so we got an earnings trade today. Unfortunately, I forgot to flip switch accounts, and I could not get the size that I wanted to get on this. It was too late. The bell was about to ring, and you can see I barely got in. This stock was on short sale restriction, and thankfully it ticked up on me, and it was ticking up going into the close, right at the close, because at one time this candle was red. So thankfully it ticked up. I was able to get in on my 100 shares. I usually like to do 300 on this, But I was like, okay, let's trade it. Can't worry about that. And I had no idea, because this was on short sale restriction. I did not expect this stock to flush like this. I was not ready. Okay? I was not ready. And this is why I asked you that question. It's why I came up with this today. I was not ready for this. When you take these trades, you got to expect everything. And so I looked at it. Number one, it said 420 that it was going to reported at 410. All right, so I wasn't ready. And it cost me, because I could have had profit down here between 102 and 103 really easy. I caught this coming back up. It had already been down here by the time I caught this. And then we did get another piece down here, 105. This was my final target, supposedly, if it got there. But like I said, I didn't expect it to sell off this hard, because it was on short sale restriction. It blew my mind when it did that. But you can see right here is when the conference call started at 5 o'clock. It looked like it was getting ready to take off and run. So I took it off. It faked me out there, because it's trading around 104 now. So it's all the way back down here around 104. But I thought that's what it was going to do. I assumed, versus waiting for the chart to confirm it, and I bailed out. And like I said, I wasn't ready. And so it caused me to continue to not trade at my peak performance. Now, I got 2 emails already. I don't know if anybody else did this or not. 2 emails from guys that took this trade, and they were not ready to take these types of trades. These guys aren't consistently profitable trading traditional day trading strategies, which you shouldn't be messing with this anyway. They got in before the close. When the market closed, the spreads were already pretty bad, but when the market closed, the spread went $2 to $3 automatically. So as soon as the market closed, they were watching their P&L, which I'll tell you not to do, and they were down $200-300, and both of these guys bailed out before the stock even announced. They bailed out, and the chart wasn't even showing it. It's just the spread. It just went to that. They didn't even wait for it to start trading again. And that's what I mean. You have to be ready. These are things you have to expect. And that's why you don't watch your P&L. You never would have known anything. You would have left it on and made a ton of money. So always be ready, guys. Be ready. All right. So that's going to do it for me today. We're going to come back tomorrow. Attack the market with the same mindset. I plan to be a little bit more ready, be on top. Maybe drink an extra cup of coffee to stay alert, so I can look at more charts faster. I talk slow because I'm from the South. My eyes probably look slow too. So, call me Slowpoke Rodriguez. But we'll be back at it tomorrow, and we'll get this ship righted. So you guys take care. Have a great night, great evening, and I'll see you in the morning.